All right, so I got a Ryobi generator. It's 5500 continuous watts. Anyway, the story with this was it was being sold at half price of what it should, and it was supposed to be in good condition, running, the usual story. Of course, I got a call when I was on the way to pick it up that the rope broke and it won't start. So, whatever. He tried to call me off, which actually is a good sign. He wanted to fix it and then have me come back. I said, don't bother, I'm already almost there. So either I'm a sucker, which I probably am, but, I believed him. So the cord is definitely damaged. So I'm going to start with that. You can see here, it's literally holding on by a string. So let's pop this recoil off, put a new rope in, and see what we're dealing with. Okay, good. Let's put it back on. All right, so let's just check for spark. Okay, good. We have good spark. All right, it's kind of hard to see in there, but there is a bolt on the bottom of this carburetor, right there. So I'm going to pull that off and see what's in there. All right, so ignore this junk on the bottom here. I think that was there before I did this. The important thing is I don't see any water. The fuel color looks good. The fuel did seem to come out of that bowl a little bit slowly, so I don't know if there's something restricting flow potentially, but the way it is right now, I think this should start. So I'm just going to put the bolt back on and try to start it up. Alright, so I got the new recoil rope on there. I'm just going to try starting it, see if that really is the only problem with this machine. And assuming it starts, I'll check the power output and see if the hertz and the voltage is good. Turn the light on and run the heater. So anyway, we got a choke, engine on. Let's see what it does. Not much. Carburetor probably has to be cleaned. At least I hope that's all it is. I'm going to give it a little squirt of starting fluid. I just want to see that the engine sounds good before I waste my time. Or I should say any more time. Okay, good. So it's just not getting fuel. So the main jet probably is clogged. When I drained the bowl out yesterday too, I noticed the gas was coming out really slow from the bowl. So there could be an issue with the needle and seat or the fuel line. You know, but there was gas going in the bowl, so it really should have done something. So that main jet must be plugged. So let's take this apart. Okay, so when I let the fuel out of the bowl the other day, you know, I'd commented that the debris was already in the cup. And anyway, I think I was wrong. So I since cleaned the cup out, just drained the bowl, and was kind of surprised to see all this debris come out. So yeah, that carb is definitely gummed up. I'm sure it's actually more than the main jet given by what I see here. I don't know if this is sand or what this is, but it's not supposed to be in a carburetor. So let me get this thing apart and see how bad the damage is. But clearly it was not running a week ago, as the guy tried to tell me. All right, and this air box has a lot of stuff connected to it. You know, I pulled the breather hose out already. This is the ventless fuel tank. So the vent here, you probably can't see it, on the top of the fuel tank comes down into here. And this is the fuel shutoff. So anyway, I'm just gonna see if I can probably just leave this all on here and slide the carburetor off. Okay, so I don't think that's rust. Kind of looks like a gel of some sort, so that should clean up. Anyway, we'll just get the rest of this apart. So we'll get the float out, the needle. That needle seat might need to be cleaned a little bit. Let's see, the main jet. I'll come back to that one. This is the idle screw, which is not needed on a generator other than to hold the pilot jet, which that's an odd setup, but okay. Haven't seen that one before. Okay. And then let me get the right size screwdriver. It looks pretty crusty down there, so I'm not going to force it, and if it comes out, great. If not, I will put it in the cleaner and then try it again. Yeah. Yeah, so all the holes in the emulsion tube are clogged. Let me get a light and try to shine it through that main jet. I'm not expecting to see anything, but let's see what we see. Yeah, it's probably not showing up on camera. I do see a sliver of light, but it should be a lot more than that. So I'm going to clean that out. You know, that's part of the issue. I think actually in this case, the bigger issue is this emulsion tube. It is almost every hole is clogged. So let me just take a brush to that and get some of this scale off, and then I'll take a piece of wire and clean out the holes. Same thing with this, and then we'll just give the whole thing a bath. All right, so this is the main jet, which I showed you before. This screw goes in the bottom of the bowl, and it's not a metering jet per se, but with that said, all the fuel does come through the holes here and here, and it feeds gas up to the main jet. And this whole thing was completely clogged. So even though the main jet was not clogged, this was, so fuel could not even get to the main jet. And even if it had, the emulsion tube was in pretty bad shape. So anyway, kind of knocking off the loose stuff here. I did brush this already on the outside. I'm probably gonna have to go through this again after I pull it out and really make sure it's clean. There was a lot of goop in there. So anyway, that should be fine now. Bowl is a mess. Put that over here. And the pilot jet. And that should do it. So let me get some cleaner in there, some degreaser, and turn this on. Okay, so all cleaned up. You know, the bowl came out pretty good, but more importantly, this cleaned up really well. This is the bolt that allows the gas up into the main jet and the emulsion tube. So this should correct the problem. So let's get this thing back together. That should do it. Okay, I think we're ready. So let's bring this outside and see what it does. Assuming it starts, I'm going to check the hertz and the voltage. And there is a throttle adjustment just above kind of the carburetor. I may adjust it a little. It should be with no load, no higher than 62 hertz. And with half load, it should not be below 60. So that's what I'm aiming for here. Okay, so the good news is it runs and makes power, kind of. This side is not making any power, and actually I'm just noticing it's a GFI, so I'm going to restart it and try hitting that reset switch. Hopefully that's all it is. Otherwise, the hertz are really good, the voltage is good, you know, everything seems pretty good on it. So let me try starting it up again and hitting that switch and see if that fixes it. Okay, good. The hertz is a little bit high, so I'm going to tweak that a little, but it was just the GFI that was tripped, thankfully. So I'd say this is pretty good. I'm going to wrap it up here, so I hope this helps someone. Thanks for watching.